Why am I intentionally choosing to make 9% of 75% of her purchases when I could be making 36% commission with the leadership bonuses? That's when that light bulb moment happened for me. I think this one might ruffle some feathers and I might get some of you disagreeing with me, but I'd love to present a different way to think about building your business. Now, just a reminder, a system is just a set of skills or tasks that you master. So when you look at your team, do you have significantly more hobbyists or people just occasionally purchasing from themselves than those who are actively working it as a business? I'm pretty sure 99.99% will say yes. And that's because when we first start our businesses, in order for us to promote, we need a certain amount of wholesale volume. In order to get that, we invite our friends, our family, our acquaintances who also love the product, but they aren't in it to build, they're just buying for themselves. And in turn, it does increase our wholesale volume, what you need to promote. Now, I'm not saying that we need to be looking for business builders straight out the gate, but there needs to be a certain time when we switch our mindsets from bring in all the people to bring in business builders. Now, in my opinion, that should happen once you are consistently being paid at a leadership title. There's no worry about meeting a minimum wholesale volumes. And I'm not saying if someone says they want to join to get paid on their purchases, we tell them no. They have the same access as everyone else to click that button on our websites. But I do ask them if they're ever going to want to do anything more with it. So let me tell you a quick personal story. We talk a lot about bringing in our best customers as consultants, and I teach my team to do the same thing. So when we're focusing on recruiting, I reach out to one of my best customers. She probably spends $300 every other month, if not every month. And I mentioned, hey, you could get 20% back on your purchases. But she kept dragging her feet, but I kept putting that bug in her ear. When all of a sudden I had this realization, she's told me she doesn't want to build a business, that it would just be to get 20% back on her purchases. So tell me, why am I intentionally choosing to make 9% of 75% of her purchases when I could be making 36% commission with the leadership bonuses? That's when that light bulb moment happened for me. How much more income could I be making for my family from the people I've sponsored who never really wanted a business in the first place? Now, some of you will say, well, Kimberly, that is a very arrows in approach. You're just thinking about your own income. I disagree. So if they're only joining to get paid on their purchases, they're going to be losing out on samples, my monthly postcards, me offering to help place their orders for them, personal specials that I offer. So bottom line, if that's all they're joining for is to get paid on their purchases, I could take much better care of them as a customer, because majority of the time, customers who join end up purchasing less than they would if they would have just stayed a customer. And then instead of getting that 20% back, they would be getting the free and half price product from a qualifying order. So I've been marketing this business all wrong. Last week, I talked about who are you attracting? What does your content and verbiage look like? Well, I was focusing on getting people paid on their purchases, getting that 20% back. Of course, that's who I'm bringing in. So I've shifted. I've changed my content, my verbiage. I am looking for business builders. We use the phrase buy, host, join a lot, and a lot of people switch it to join, host, buy, but that's when you bring in more of those hobbyists. When you rearrange it to be host, join, buy, the likelihood of having a business builder is much higher, as they've already had that firsthand experience of being a consultant when they're a host. So from there, they can use their rewards to start for no out-of-pocket cost. But even then, I use the words build a business, just because the last thing I want is a host to join, then do nothing. They don't follow up or take care of their customers, so that future PRV and potential business is lost. But Kimberly, a lot of leaders start as hobbyists. Absolutely, hands down. And again, I'm not preventing any of those people from joining. Like I mentioned, they can click the join button 24/7. But my verbiage and my focus that I'm putting out is for business builders. Could you imagine if every single person you recruited wanted to build a business? What would your business look like? Now, I want to show you what this looks like for me as far as qualifying my prospects. So you guys know I love me some jot form, but forms are considered a barrier to entry. Personally, I'm not going to fill out a form unless it's something that I absolutely want to do. And I can see all the questions so I know that I have time to answer. So those who are filling out this form are already qualifying themselves. And one of my new favorite things to find out about people is their color personality. If you've never heard or learned about it, I'll put a link down below so that way you can listen or read it, but definitely check it out. He compares each color to people you most likely know. Mine is The Simpsons. It's really easy to spot a Mr. Burns who's all about money or a Marge who just wants to help others. But there's this drag and drop function in Jotform that lets them choose which color best fits them. And that allows me to tailor my messaging and content around the color personalities. Because not everyone cares about money or the comp plan or incentive trips or conventions. So when you know their color, you know how to communicate with them most effectively. So if you had some aha moments or this got you thinking about how you qualify your prospects, take a screenshot right now. Share it in your stories, tag me, and tell me what your biggest takeaway was. So while you're waiting for next week's video, definitely check out these other 2 videos. If you like this video, make sure you share it with someone who is rocking their business. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you know when the next video drops.